All right, today we're diving into the high stakes game of taking revolutionary deep tech global. It's a journey that's absolutely packed with opportunity, but it's also filled with hidden dangers for your most valuable asset, your ideas. So think about it. You've built something that could genuinely change the world. But as you start to expand, the one question that should be keeping you up at night is this: is my breakthrough actually safe? We're going to build the playbook to make sure that answer is a definite yes. First up, let's really unpack this opportunity. We hear the term deep tech thrown around all the time, right? But what really makes it so different? And why are emerging markets suddenly its most critical frontier? So what is deep tech exactly? Well, as you can see, we are not talking about the next photo sharing app here. This is the heavy-duty stuff, technology born from years of super intense, incredibly expensive scientific research. It's the foundational science that's literally going to power the industries of tomorrow. And this is where things get really exciting. These emerging markets are hungry for these kinds of fundamental breakthroughs. That makes them the next great frontier for any deep tech company that's looking to make a real global impact. Okay, so with this massive opportunity just sitting there on the table, how do you protect it? Well, that brings us to your innovation's armor, your intellectual property, or IP. You see, for deep tech, IP isn't just some nice-to-have legal thing. Look at this comparison. The journey to a breakthrough is so long, so expensive, and so risky that your core technology is everything. Protecting it isn't just a strategy, it's a matter of survival. And, this gets right to the financial reality of it all. Investors are making a huge bet on your long-term vision. They absolutely need to know that your core innovation is legally locked down. Without that protection, securing serious capital becomes nearly impossible. It's often that simple. So think of it like this. Your IP strategy is the moat you build around your business. It protects all that investment, it gives you a massive competitive edge, and yeah, it's what convinces investors to actually back your vision. But, and this is a big but, expanding into new territories isn't just a simple copy and paste of what worked back home. You're about to enter what we can call the emerging market gauntlet. This is a landscape that's filled with really unique challenges, ones that can derail even the most promising innovation out there. So what exactly are these obstacles standing in your way? Okay, this table breaks down the four big ones. First, you've got weak enforcement. The laws might look good on paper, but in reality, competitors could just copy your tech with almost no consequences. Second, bureaucratic barriers. They can delay your patents for years, leaving you totally exposed. Then there's counterfeiting, knockoffs that can destroy your market share and your brand. And finally, you might run into cultural attitudes where, copying foreign IP just isn't seen as that big of a deal. It's a really complex minefield out there. Okay, I know that sounds pretty intimidating, but this is where we get strategic. It's time to open up the playbook and build a defense that's tailor-made for these very challenges. A winning strategy is built on these four pillars. It all starts with understanding the local landscape. Then you have to be proactive and file your patents early and broadly. Next, it's all about building relationships, forging local alliances. And finally, it's a constant effort to monitor and defend your rights. Let's see how these help us tackle those challenges we just talked about. So let's apply this playbook to that first challenge, weak enforcement. The laws might be on the books, but they can pretty much crumble without the right kind of support. This is where that forge local alliances pillar becomes absolutely critical. Your defense can't just rely on the courts. It's about building relationships on the ground, using other methods like arbitration, and partnering with local firms who know exactly how to make the system work. Next up, let's tackle that bureaucratic maze. A patent application can get tangled up in red tape for years, and that leaves your innovation dangerously exposed. So how do you cut through all that red tape? Well, this is where the understand and file pillars come into play. The absolute key is being proactive. You've got to hire local experts before you even enter the market. Use international agreements like the Patent Cooperation Treaty to help streamline your filings. And here's a smart tactic. Break your tech into several smaller patents to create multiple layers of defense. And now we face maybe the most direct threat to your business. Competitors not just copying your product, but actively trying to reverse engineer your core technology. This one requires a multi-layered shield, which activates our monitor and defend pillar. You can't just rely on patents. Some of your processes are actually better kept as trade secrets. You need ironclad contracts with every single partner. And you have to be vigilant, constantly monitoring the market and being ready to enforce your rights the second you spot a problem. So when we bring this all together, what does it really mean for the long-term health and, the global future of your innovation?
Well, at the end of the day, a winning IP strategy is a balanced one. It's not about just one thing. It's a proactive mix of strategic legal filings, those crucial local partnerships we talked about, constant monitoring, and strong internal protections like contracts and trade secrets. So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. Protecting your deep tech innovation isn't some task you just check off a list. It is a living, breathing strategy that has to adapt to a constantly changing landscape. It's about securing the future of your company, one market at a time.
And so we end with the one question you really need to ask yourself. After seeing this gauntlet of challenges and the strategic playbook for navigating them, is your IP strategy truly ready to take on the world?